Dear students, good morning. As we have discussed the conversions of one base to another base, both integer and fractional numbers in previous class. Today's class, as per your request, we are going to discuss about odds and r minus 1's complements. So odds and r minus 1's complements. So actually here what do you mean by r? Here r stands for radix, as we discussed earlier, or it is also called as base. So here for the number system conversions or number systems, we have discussed about 4 number types. One is binary, decimal, octal, hexadecimal with base 2, base 10, base 8, base 16. So this base also again called as radix r. Here for binary number system, r's complement means it is nothing but 2's complement. R minus 1's complement means it is nothing but 1's complement. Whereas for the decimal number system, it is 10's complement and 9's complement. And octal number systems, it is 8's complement and 7's complement. Whereas hexadecimal, 16's complement and 15's complement. So in this session, we will discuss how to generate r's and r minus 1's complements for different bases, and also the main application of your complement system is nothing but subtraction using r's and r minus 1's complements. So addition is very easy to perform as your general method, but performing the subtraction is followed this method r minus 1 and r's complement in our computer system. That's why we will know how to perform the subtraction operation using r's and r minus 1's complement. And our major concentration is on binary and decimal for finding the r's and r minus 1's complement, and also for performing the subtraction. And whatever the procedure we are following to do so, the same procedure will be implemented even for your octal and the hexadecimal system also. Say for example, you take the binary number system. So here the binary number system, whatever the system it is, if you want to find out r minus 1's complement, binary or decimal or octal or hexa, whatever the system, the r minus 1's complement, if you want to calculate, the formula is n is equal to r power, so this is r minus 1's of the given number n, r minus 1's of the given number n. Here what is r? Nothing but radix, and here n stands for number of bits in the given number. So r power n minus 1 and minus original number is given. So in the same way, if you want to find out r's complement of n, the formula is r power n minus 1 minus n plus 1. So you are going to add 1. So this minus 1 and this plus 1 gets cancelled. You will get r power n minus n. So this is the formula for calculating r minus 1's complement. R power small n, where small n stands for number of digits in the given number, and this is the original number. So this is the radix. This is the formula for calculating r minus 1 and r's complement for any number system, for any base. So we will take some examples and try to find out r minus 1 and r's complements, which will be very easy to understand for you. So here let us take one number n is equal to 6, 4, 5. So n is equal to 6, 4, 5 base 10. 6, 4, 5 base 10. Here R is equal to 10, small n is equal to 1, 2, 3. 3. So capital N, that is the original number, is equal to 6, 4, 5. So if you want to calculate R minus 1's complement, that is 9's complement. So R minus 1, 10 minus 1, 9's complement. So what is the formula we have discussed here? R power n. So R means here 10. So 10 power small n is 3 minus 1 minus the number 6, 4, 5. 6, 4, 5. So this is nothing but 1000 minus 1 minus 6, 4, 5. So you will get here 9, 9, 9, 6, 4, 5. So this gives you 4, 5, 3. So 3. So remember, if you want to get 9's complement, we are subtracting all the 3 digits from 3 9's. So without, I have explained this procedure by using the formula R power n minus capital N. Using this formula, I have explained now how to calculate, but blindly you can remember that if you want 9's complement, you can subtract the given number with those many 9's of digits. So if number is given in 3 digit form, so you can subtract with 999. If, for example, 7321, a number 7321 is given. So if you want to find out its 9's complement, simple, you can subtract from 4 9's, 8, 7, 6, 2. This is the 9's complement. So blindly, you did not go for following this formula. But scientifically, how we are going to get the 9's complement? Using this formula. So once, if you know how to calculate the 9's complement, then by using the formula, 10's complement, if you want to calculate, the formula is R power n minus 1 minus n plus 1. So means whatever the 9's complement is there, for that 9's complement plus 1 you have to calculate. So if you add 1 to this, you will get 3, 5, 5 as 10's complement. 3, 5, 5 as 10's complement. So means you will not have this one. Simply 10 power 3 minus 645, which is nothing but 355 is the 10's complement. So this is the way you will find out R's and R minus 1's complement, and we have taken example in the decimal system. Let us see the same example in binaries also by taking a binary number. So you take here n is equal to 1101. So base 2. So binary number. You can follow the formula, scientific formula, that is for 2's complement and 1's complement. If you want to find out, first let us go for finding 1's complement. So here R is 2 power. Here small n is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 digits are there. 2 power 4 minus 1 minus 1 minus n. Here n is 1101. 1101. So here what is 2 power 4? 2 power 4 is 16 minus 1. 16 minus 1 minus 1101. Minus 1101. So 16 minus 1 is 15 minus 1101. Here remember, this 15 is a decimal number. So when we are going to perform 2's complement or 1's complement, so the subtraction or whatever the operation should be in the binary form. So the equivalent binary value for 15, as you know very well, it is 1111. 4 ones minus 1101. So you may have doubt how this 15 is equal to 4 ones are. So simple, 15 2's 7's 1 2 3 1 2 1 1 2 0 1, right in the reverse order. So you will get. Now, so this is 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 1 minus. So 1 0 0. Okay, so this is 9's complement. So if you want, sorry, this is 2's complement, 1's complement. If you want 2's complement, you need to add plus 1 to this. So which you will get the result as 0, 0, 1, 1. And here you remember one more thing, that previously to calculate 9's complement, we are subtracting all the digits from 9's. Here to get 1's complement, we are subtracting all the digits from all 1's. Fine. After getting 1's complement, getting 2's complement is easy, adding 1 to it. And remember, here what is the original number given? 1101. So what is 1's complement we got here is 0010 is the 1's complement of 1. You remember here once again, here 1 is there, here 0 is there, here 1, here 0, here 0, here 1, here 1, here 0. So if you want to get 1's complement of any binary number, simply you change all the 1's to zeros and all the zeros to 1. That is nothing but 1's complement. So either you can subtract from all 1's, or you can use the formula. You can use the formula method 1, or you can directly subtract from all 1's. How many 1's here? How many bits are there? Those many 1's. Subtract it. You will get 1's complement. Or else, simplest way, changing all the 1's into zeros and zeros into 1's of the original number, you will get 1's complement. Once if you get 1's complement, it is very easy to get the 2's complement just by adding a binary 1 to that. You will get the 2's complement like 0, 0, 1. So this is the way to find out 1's and 2's complements of a binary number system. Now let us go for finding the complements in octal number system. Okay. So here 635 base octal. 635 base octal. As I told you, here you can find out 7's complement and you can find out 8's complement. So if you want 7's complement, subtracting this all term, 3 7's, 6 3 5, 2 4 1. And you want to add 8's complements, you need to add 1. So 1 4 3 base. Okay students, now whatever we have calculated, the 7's complement and 8's complements, now you can ask me, sir, can we do the same calculation using the formula, that is scientific method. So the scientific method here is r power n minus 1 minus n. This is r minus 1's complement. So here in this example, r is 8 and n is 3, means 1 2 3 and capital N is equal to 635. So let us substitute these values in the given formula. So 8 power 3 minus 1 minus 635. Now here what is 8 power 3? So 8 into 8 into 8. This is 64 into 8. 8 4 32. 8 6 48 plus 3 5. So 512. So 512 minus 1 minus 635. So here this is 511. But do remember here, before we are going to perform the subtraction, whatever the number we got, you have to know that that is a decimal number. Even when you perform the binary R's complement also, when you are going to calculate 2 power n minus 1 minus n here, 2 power n, whatever you calculated, if you get something 16 or something else, you are going to convert the 16 to the binary values. In the same way, here also, whatever this 511 you got, which is a decimal number, you have to convert that into the equivalent octal value. So, converting this 511 to octal, you are going to do the division operation. So, 8 6, 48, so 31, 8 3s, so 7 will be the remainder. Then here 8 7s 56, 7 is the remainder here, 8 zeros, 7 is the remainder here, and by writing the reverse order, the result what you get is 7 7 7 3 7. So you are going to convert this decimal 511 to octal 777 minus 635. So which is nothing but 142 is the 7's complement. That is odd minus 7's complement. So to get it, again adding plus 1 to get the odd complement, which is nothing but 143. So either of the methods you can perform the odds and odd minus 1's complement. Now let us take one small example for the hexadecimal, and we will do it in the direct method. So here hexadecimal A 2 3 E base 16. A 2 3 base 16. So if you want odds complement and odd minus 1's complement in this 15's complement and 16's complement. So this is odd minus 1's complement. This is odd's complement. So you take 8 2 3 E. Here 15. So subtract each digit from 15 15 15. So assume you know well that the E value is nothing but 14. So 15 minus 14 is 1. The 15 minus 3 is should be 12. Here you don't have 12 in hexadecimal. Rather this will be C, and then 15 minus 2 it is D. 15 minus A. So again 15 minus this is 10 value. So 5. So 5D C1 is the odd minus 1's complement. But here if you want odd's complement, again adding 1 here. So 5D C2 is your 16's complement. So this is the way you calculate. You can get both odds and odd minus 1's complement in binary, in decimal, octal and hexadecimal. So here odds complement means 2's complement, odd minus 1 is 1's complement. Decimal, it is 10's complement and it is 9's complement. Octal, 8's complement, 7's complement. Hexadecimal, 16's complement and 15's complement. So now, after finding out odds and odd minus 1's complements, we will take few examples and then we will go for subtraction of two numbers using this odds and odd minus 1's complement. Here let us take n is equal to 1, 2, 3 base 10. So to find out odds complement and odd minus 1's complement, here using the formula r power n minus n. Okay, this is odds complement minus 1. If you get this will be odd minus 1. So here r is base 10, 10 power 1, 2, 3, n is 3 minus 123 minus 1. So 10 power 3 is 1000 minus 123 minus 1. So this will be 877 minus 1. It is equal to 876. This is odd minus 1's complement, that is 9's complement. If you want odd's complement or 10's complement, simply adding 1 to here. So 877 is your 10's complement. This is the way you are going to get the odds and odd minus 1. So take one more example of calculating odds and odd minus 1's complements. Take n is equal to 4931. So here directly we will find out odds complement. Odds complement is r power n minus n. So here r is 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is small n value is 4. Capital N is 4931. So this is 10,000 minus 4931 is equal to 5069. So this is odds complement. Now, after you calculate 10's complement, that is odds complement, if you want to go back to calculate 9's complement, that is r minus 1. So from this, just subtract minus 1, you will get 5068. This is r minus 1's complement. Either the way you can do it. Okay, let us take one more example that contains fractional numbers. How to calculate odds and odd minus 1's complements for a fractional number. So you take n value here is 623 decimal 52. So here r is equal to 10. As I told you, it is a decimal number. Okay, here n is equal to 1, 2, 3. There is 3. And here after decimal you have two positions. So we will consider m is equal to 2. So here, because we have decimal part as well as the fractional part, we will take two positions, n is equal to small n is equal to 3 and small m is equal to 2. Of course, capital N is equal to your original number. So the formula what you use here is 10 power 3 minus 10 power minus 2 minus your original number, that is r power n minus r power minus m minus n. This is nothing but r's complement. This is nothing but r's complement. So here 10 power 3 you will get 1000. So this is by 1 by 100 minus the original value. So this will be 999.99. This value is 999.99. So the number is 623.52. So 7, 4, 6. You will put decimal here. 7, 3. So this is the r's complement. Okay, and to get the r minus 1's complement, you have to subtract 1 from here. Okay, then it will be 46.46. So the result is 376.46. So like this, you will do r's complement or r minus 1's complement for the fraction numbers also. So let us take one more example for better understanding. It may be in binary values also. Here binary examples we will consider. So here n is equal to 111011. So now to calculate r minus 1's complement, you need to subtract from all ones. So 11101. So here 0 0 1 0 0 0. Yeah, what happened? I told you earlier. So all the ones are converted to zeros and the zeros are converted to ones. Simply, it's complement. The complement. So here, if you want r's complement, then add 1 here. 1 0 1 0 0 0. So this is the way to calculate r's and r minus 1's complements in a simple way. So we'll take one fraction number in binary also to calculate the same. So here you take n is equal to 1110.1101. So here, if you want to get first calculate r minus 1's complement, so 1111 decimal 1111. So 1110.1101. So 0 1 0 0 at 1 0 0 0. So all ones are converted zeros. All zeros are converted as ones. Okay. Now for this, if you want to get r's complement, add 1 here. Then you will get the 0 0 1.001. So this is the r's complement. Now the basic application of this r's and r minus 1's complement is performing the subtraction calculation inside the computer. It will use this complement method. So how it is going to do, we will check it out. So you just take two numbers 39 and 23. So here performing addition or subtraction between these two numbers will be in 4 possible ways. There, first, the signs of these two may be equal. So here means plus 39 and plus 23. So performing addition between these two, the two signs are equal here. And one more combination here is minus 39 and minus 23. Performing some arithmetic operation. Here also the two signs are equal. But you will find there are some different combinations like minus 39 plus 23. It is one arithmetic operation where one negative sign and one positive sign. Or 39 plus it is and minus 23. Here it is positive and it is negative. So case 1, both the signs of the magnitude are same. Both the signs of the magnitude are same. How these magnitude signs will be represented? The MS bit, most significant bit, will be represented as 1 to represent that a given number is negative. So whenever the computer is going to perform these arithmetic operations between two numbers, it will check first the sign bit. It will check the sign bit. If both the sign bits are equal, means either both are positive or both are negative, then it will consider the magnitude part and perform the addition operation. And the result will be whatever the sign is here, that will be written. So here in this case, plus 39 plus 23, because both the signs are equal, simple addition will be performed and plus symbol will be put. But in this case, as minus 39 and minus 23 also, both the signs are the same, it performs simple addition and the sign will be put as negative. So in these two cases, there is not much difficulty we find in performing the arithmetic operation. Whereas when the signs are different, then only there will be a problem to perform the arithmetic operation. This problem is overcome by using this complement method. How this problem is going to overcome by using this complement method, we will just check it out now. So first take 39 and 23, that is minus. So here this is plus, that is positive, and this is negative. So when two signs are different. So at that situation, what we do is, first we will find out the tens complement. The tens complement of 23 is 99 minus 23 plus 1. So this only part is 9's complement. But what we want to calculate is 10's complement. So 9's complement plus 1. This is 76 plus 1 is equal to 77. Okay. Now whatever the 10's complement we got here, we add that to this 39. So plus 39, then 77. Add these two numbers. So what we get here is 6, 1, 1. So here, when you are adding two-digit numbers, this is digit 1, digit 2, 2 digits. Here also digit 1 and digit 2, 2 digits. When we are adding two-digit numbers, if you get the third digit in the result, that will be considered as overflow or carry. So at this situation, if you get this overflow, you can consider that the number what you got is a negative value, and this will be neglected simple. So the negative value, whatever it is, carry or overflow, whatever you got is simply discarded, and then you can consider this as the final result. So plus 39 minus 23, if you perform, what you are supposed to get is 16 only. So remember, when you are adding these two numbers, here this number is nothing but tens complement of the second value. After converting the second value to its tens complement, if you perform the addition, in the result, if you get 1 here, that is a carry bit or overflow bit, simply discard that overflow bit and consider only 16 as your final result. This will be considered as a positive number. You take one example. You take here one example for easy calculation. That is minus 39 plus 23. So minus 39 and plus 23. So here you calculate 9's complement of 39. So you will get 99 minus 39 is equal to 60. Then 10's complement of 39 is equal to 60 plus 1 equal to 61. So now add these two, 61 and 23. So what you get? 84. Is there any carry here? So no carry. So when there is no carry, then you have to consider this as a negative value. You have to consider this as a negative value, and you have to find out its 9's complement and later its 10's complement. So 9's complement of 84 is 99 minus 84. So 5, 1, and its 10's complement is plus 1, 16. So because there is no, whenever you don't get a carry, here in the previous one there is a carry or overflow is generated, simply you discarded that carry and consider the result as a positive number. But in this calculation, when you perform the 10's complement of the first value with the original value of the second number, if you don't get carry, then you have to consider that the result is negative, but this is not the actual result. Then later you should convert this into the 10's complement, which you got 16, and as I told you initially it is negative, then you can put a negative. So minus 6. So minus 39 plus 23, result you will get is 69. So this is the way how we are going to perform the arithmetic operations by using the R's and R minus 1's complements. Now let us take one example here. In binary operation, say 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 1. Okay, this is 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 1. So minus, we are performing subtraction operation. So what I told you, whenever you want to perform subtraction operation, so whatever here this is there, you need to convert it into the 2's complement. There we converted that into the 10's complement. Here we are going to convert this into the 2's complement. So 2's complement, first 1's complement is 1 1 0 1 0 0 0 is 1's complement, and adding 1 to here you get 1 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 as 2's complement. And for this number you add this. So 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 1. So when you perform this addition, 1 plus 1 1 0 1 plus 1 1 0 1 plus 1 1 0 1 plus 1 1 0, here only directly 1 1 plus 1 1 0 1 plus 1 1 0 1 plus 1 1 0, here you 1. So what is this extra bit? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So 8 bits, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 8 bits. When two 8-bit numbers are added, if you get an extra bit or 9th bit, that is considered as a overflow or carry. As we explained in the previous example of plus 39 and minus 23, when you get an overflow or carry, simply discard it. So this is your final result. Okay, you can just check it out. So how do we know that whether this result is right or not? You convert this number into decimal, and then you convert this number into decimal. So this is 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5. So this is 2 power 5 is 32. This is 4. This is 2. This is 1. So 36, 39. So this value is 39. And this is 2 power 0. 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2 and 2 power 4. This is 16, 4, 2, 2 power 0 into 1 is 1. So 20, 23. So 39 minus 23, we should get a positive 16. So here it is, this is 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3 and 2 power 4, 2 power 5 and so on. All are zeros, so don't bother. Only this 1 into 2 2 power 4 is equal to 60. So this is the result. How you can cross check also that this calculation part is right or wrong. Okay. Now let us take one more example. So here minus 39 plus 23 previous. So 1. So here minus 39 means previously 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 is positive 39. 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 is 23. So here if we want to do minus 39 means we have to convert that into the arts complement. So 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 1. So if it is 0 here, if you put it is only 9's complement, or it is binary value, it is only 1's complement. But what we need to have is 2's complement. That's why so means 9's complement, 1's complement is 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 0. This is 1's complement. But what we want is 2's complement. That's why we added 1 2 here, we got this one. The remaining 23 value you can add as it is 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 1. So you perform addition of these two numbers 1 plus 1 1 0 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 plus 1 1 1. So this is 1, this is 1 and this is 1. So when you are adding two 8-bit numbers, how many bits you got as a result? Only 8 bits. Then what I told you in the previous example, so when you get the same number of bits as a result, you should consider that it is a negative value, and it is a negative value. Also, you have to convert it into equivalent value. So convert it into first 1's complement 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1. This is 1's complement. But you have to find out the 2's complement. So whenever you get same number of bits, when you perform the subtraction, you assume that it is a negative value and convert its equivalent 2's complement. So whatever the result you got, we found 1's complement here, and then for that 1's complement we are going to add one more 1 to get the 2's complement. So 1 plus 1 is 1 0, 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 0 plus 1 1 0 0 0. So this is 16 as previously, but it is a minus value you have to put. Minus value you have to put. So this is the way how we are going to perform the subtractions using arts and r minus 1's complements. Okay. You take one more example for better understanding. So 1 1 0 1 1 0 minus 0 1 0 1 1 0. Both are binary values. So first you calculate the 2's complement of this second number. So second number 2's complement is first 0 1 0 1 1 0. Its 1's complement is 1 0 1 0 0 1. But what we want is 2's complement. So 0 1 0 1 0 1. This is the 2's complement of the second number. So whatever the 2's complement you got, you have to add this number. So 1 1 0 1 1 0. So when you perform addition, 0 1 0 1 plus 1 1 0 1 plus 1 1 0 1 plus 1 0 1 plus 1 plus 1. So what I told you, when you get extra bit, so this is 6-bit number, this is also 6-bit number, but the result what we got here is 7 bits. So simply you have to discard the carry or the overflow. So this will be the final result. So when you subtract these two numbers, so we will take another example. 1 0 1 1 0 minus 1 1 0 1 0. Both are binary values. So find out the binary 2's complement here. So first 1's complement of this number is 0 0 1 0 1. Okay. Then for that you can find out 2's complement by adding plus 1. So this is 1 1 0 0. For this 2's complement of this number, add this 1 0 1 1 0. So 0 1 plus 1 1 0 1 plus 1 1 1 1 1. Did you get any carry over, sorry, any extra overflow or carry over there? No. So that's why what we are going to do is we have to consider that it is a negative number and we have to find out its 2's complement. So 0 0 0 1 1. So this is 1's complement and its 2's complement is adding plus 1. This is 0 1. So this is your result, but by putting the negative number over there. Okay. And fractional subtraction. So by using the same r's and r minus 1 complements, we can perform the fractional subtractions also. So here we see 1 0 1 0 0 0.01 minus 1 1 0 1 1 0.10. So first 2's complement of this number, so is 0 0 1 0 0 decimal 0 1. This is 1's complement, and I told you we have to add 1. This is 1 0 1 decimal 0 0 1 0 0. So this is the 2's complement of the second one, and you have to add the first number here 0 1. So 1 1 0 0 0 1 1. But is there any extra number? There is no extra number. So that's why what we have to find out is we have to consider this as a negative number. We have to consider it as a negative number, and we have to find out its equivalent 2's complement. First we will find out 1's complement 0 0 1 1 1 decimal 0 0. So this is 1's complement. But if you want 2's complement plus 1. So 0 0 1 1 1 and 0 1. So this is the subtraction value of this one with a negative symbol. So this is the way how we are going to perform the subtraction using r's and r minus 1's complement, even for the fractional values also. So once if it is easy, if you understand this binary numbers, it will be easy for your decimal values also. Whatever we are calculating the r's and r minus 1's complements for the decimal and binary, the same can be implemented for your octal and hexadecimal also, for which we did not go for any explanation. So let us take one more example, for a simple example for those who are not following from the beginning. So 215 minus 155. 215 minus 115. So this is second number. So its 1's complement is 999 minus 155. So you will get 4 4 8, and its 2's complement is 845, and adding 2 152 845. So 10 6 1060. So here as you got carry, simply discard it. The result will be 60. You know 215 minus 155 is 60. You can ask me, sir, we already know 215 minus 155 is equal to 60. Why again 1's complement, 2's complement, blah blah blah. This is the way how inside the computer the subtraction will be performed, because addition only is there in the system. That's why first it find out its 1's complement, then 2's complement. Those two numbers will be added. If there is a carry generated by discarding it, and the result will be considered as positive. Reverse we go for. So my means we will try to subtract 155 minus 15 minus 215. So 155 minus 215. Then we should get the negative 60. So 1's complement of this, 9's complement of 215 is 999 minus 215 is equal to 487, 784. So for this is only 9's complement, and then 10's complement, add 1 to here, you will get 785. So 155 added to 785, 10, 13, 14, 9. So there is no end carry or overflow. When there is no end carry or overflow, we have to consider that it is a negative value. Also, we need to convert this into its R's complement. So if you want R minus 1's complement for this 940, it is 999 minus 940 is equal to 950. So R's complement, that is 10's complement. So plus 1 is added, 60 we got, but there is no carry. We are doing this procedure. At that situation, you have to consider the result is a negative value. So 155 minus 215 is equal to minus 60, which we know the simple calculation. Okay, this is the way how we are going to. So one more example we consider in the decimals with the fractional values. So you take 215 minus 2 minus 155 minus 1. So we calculate 999 decimal 1. So 8, 4, 4 and 8. For this you have to add 1. So you get 844.9. So this should be added to 215 5 so 84549. So 11 549 10 6 10. So here you got an excess value end carry. That's why this is a positive number only. The result is 60.1. If you want to perform, you can do the same manually by yourself without doing this. So this is the result. And if you go for the reverse process, we should get minus 60.1. So here 155.1 minus 215.2. So here 999.9, 215.2. So 7, 4, 8, 7. This is 9's complement, but we want 10's complement. Add 1 here, 784.8, and then this will be added to the first one. So 9, 9, 13, 9. So as we told, there is no extra bit or extra number is generated. That's why this is a negative value we have to consider. But we need to convert it into 10's complement. So subtract from all lines 0, 0, 6, 0. But this is only 9's complement. But what we want is 10's complement. Add 1 here. So 1, 0, 6. So 60.1. But because of this process, it is considered as a negative value. Okay, this is the way how we are going to perform subtraction using these R's and R minus 1 complements. Okay. With this, we have completed the complement methods. And the third question what you people are asking me is a parity bit method. Actually, what is this parity bit method and why you use? This parity bit method is used in the error detection course. So here, how it is going to do is, we follow two parity methods. One is even parity and odd parity. So whatever the number we are going to send, say for example 10110, we are sending from the source to the destination. If the same number is going to transmit here or not, we need to check out. For that purpose, what we use is either even parity or odd parity method we use. But whichever the parity method we are using, both the source and destination should know well. So if they follow the even parity method, so whatever the data you are sending, that data must contain even number of ones. So like that only you have to pad up this number. So here how many number of ones are there? 1, 1, 1. 3 ones are there. It is not even number of ones. So that's why when you are going to send this data, you are going to add one extra bit like this. You are going to add one extra bit like this. So 1, 1, 1. Now it becomes 4 ones. So it is a even parity if you follow. At the receiver end also, when it is going to send the data with the 4 ones in the result, then it assumes the data is correct. Or else here it sends like this, it is going to send. Then it is odd number of ones are there, so the data is wrong. Like this, we will transfer the data by using the even parity or odd parity. So here, say example, if we are following odd parity method instead of even parity, here it is 1 0 1 1 0. In this numbers of ones are 3, which is odd number. So the final data after padding is this only. So we add 0 here, so that number of ones are odd only. If the destination also going to receive the data with the number of ones are as odd, then it will be considered it as a corrected data, because it knows very well that now we are following the odd parity method. So it is the way, like if you are following any of these two methods, should follow either even parity or odd parity. If you are following even parity, then you just check out the source data, input data contains how many number of ones. If input data contains odd number of ones, add one more 1, because we are using the even parity. Even number of ones should be even. Or else, if you are following odd parity method, the number of ones in the input data should be odd. So that's why we are 0, as already there are odd number of ones. So this is the way how we are going to add the parity bit. Either it may be even parity or odd parity. But here, the basic disadvantage of this parity method is, if you consider this 1 0 1 1 0, let's assume 1 0 1 1 0 is your input, and we are following even parity method. So here there are only 3 ones. The data what we are going to send is this one by adding an extra bit 1. So that we are making up into 1 1 1 1. Like there are 4 ones here. But at the destination end, in place of this 0, if 1 1 0 1 1 1 is there, received. So here how many ones are there? 5 ones are there. So means when you are following even parity method, it should be even number of ones. But here odd number of ones are there. So that's why destination will understand that the data reached to it is wrong data. Fine, it is okay. Now let us assume that this is original data which is expected by the destination. This original data is received by the destination due to some over noise happened between the transmission media as 0 1 0 1 1 1. Means this bit is changed, this bit is also changed. These 2 bits are changed. So this is original is expected, but this is the data received at the destination. So you just count number of ones here, even number of ones are there. So because even parity bit is following, destination can assume that it is the right data. No, right data is not this. This is the right data. But the disadvantage of this parity bit method is, if there is a change only in 1 bit position, then only this method will be applicable and will work out. So if there is a change more than 1 bit positions, more than 1 bit means 2 bits change is there, it cannot be possible to check out whether the data is right or wrong. So that's why this is the major disadvantage of this parity bit method is, this is applicable only if the change is happened at one position from source to the destination data. So otherwise it is not possible. Further, there are other advanced techniques are there in the error detection and correction course, which we don't have that in our syllabus. Whereas as you asked, sir, how a parity bit is generated, a parity bit is generated, and whatever the parity bit is generated, how it is checked. So how it is checked. So for generating and for checking the parity bits, we use a circuit called as logic circuit by using an XOR gates or XNOR gates. By using XOR or XNOR. So sometimes both the gates are also used in designing the circuit for parity generator and parity checker. Okay, why we use XOR and XNOR gate is, you know very well, I think the truth table for XOR and XNOR will be like this. So if the both values are same, both the values, both input values are same, the result will be 1. So for this, I think it is XOR, and for XNOR, this will be 0, 1, 1, 0. So XOR and XNOR both are opposite. If two inputs are same, the result will be positive. Even function method or odd function method. So it is XOR is a maybe even function gate and XNOR is a odd function gate. It will be like this. So that's why, because of this even function and odd function methodologies of the XOR and XNOR gates, we use XOR and XNOR in the logical diagram or logic circuit of parity generator and parity checker. And the circuit, parity checker circuit and parity generator circuit, will be explained in a small video which is added to this, because the board space is problem also, that is explained in different manner. That's why with this only I am now adding a clear cut video how to generate a parity and how to check a parity, which will give you a clear picture. So thank you, and all the doubts what you have asked me are clarified now, and in the next class we will go to the new topic. Thank you one and all.
This lecture we are going to discuss about the parity generator and parity checker. So before that we will discuss why we need that. Suppose when you are sending some digital data, right, from transmitter to the receiver, so this will be some groups of data. So in this example I am taking some 5 bits. So when I am sending these 5 bits through this air medium, suppose some noise is added in this free space, and when you are receiving, so we have when we detect or when we receive, suppose if there is some error is occurred, right, in any one of the bits. Suppose in the second bit, see here 11011, here 11001, right? Suppose one bit is we got error due to some noise effects. Now, so that is not correct data, right? So what we need is, so in this scenario we need some error detection as well as the correction circuit. Now for that reason we will use this parity generator and parity checker. So what is this parity generator will do is, so when in the transmitting side we will use this parity generator. So parity generator. So in the receiving side, the first block will be parity checker, right? So what is this parity generator or parity checker is? So apart from this message bit, suppose this is called message bits. So including this message bits, and we will add some extra bit as a parity. So if I add one more bit, either even parity or odd parity. So just remember, now we are adding some extra bit, and with extra bit we are sending to the air, and when you are receiving, and we will check something, that is, it may be even parity, it may be odd parity. Suppose whatever we send, suppose we sent like a even parity, but we are receiving like a odd parity. So it will check that there is some error. So it will indicate to the again transmitter that there is an error. Then again it will resend that data. So that is happens when we are using this parity generator and parity checker. So why we are using this parity generator and parity checker? So to detect some errors and to correct that one, right? So that is the some introduction about this parity generator and parity checker, right? Now we will see even parity generator. That is, suppose these inputs are the message bits. So I am sending actually 3 bits. Now apart from 3 bits we need to add one more bit, that is called parity bit. So this is called parity bit. Now what is the condition here is, so even parity. That means including this parity bit, we need the number of bits or number of ones in the present in this bits will be even. So these three inputs are 0. So to make even, we need to add one more 0, right? So 0 is like a even parity. So I am adding one more 0. Now if you see the second one, so how many number of ones present in the message? Only 1. To make even, we need to add one more 1 in parity as a parity bit. Similarly, here number of ones are odd. So to make even, one more 1. Here already even parity is there. So what we do? Just add 0. So combining all this, it will become even parity. Similarly, 100. This is odd parity. To make even, next, this is even number of ones. So make 0. Even number of ones, make 0. This is odd number of ones. So make one more 1 to become even parity. Now this is like, so this is like generator. Now what should be this P? Now if you remember the odd function of exclusive OR, right? X3 variable function or exclusive OR function is called odd function. So how to generate P? So this is the 3 input exclusive OR function. You can verify. See, this is the, what you call, min term is 1. This is 2. And this is 4. And this is 7. So we have seen already 1, 2, 4, 7. You see odd number of ones are there, right? So then output function is 1. So it is nothing but 3 input exclusive OR gate or exclusive OR function. So this is A, this is B, and one more exclusive OR gate. The output will be P. So that is the reason I told you the exclusive OR gate will be used in as a parity generator. So 2 exclusive OR gates. So 3 input exclusive OR gate. That's it. So this is the even parity generator, right? We'll see even parity checker. So that is, we generated this with even parity. Now we are sending this data to the receiving side. So once we receive as a received data, so this is like received bits, right? So whenever we got 4 received bits, that is how many combinations we will get? Total 16 combinations we will get. Now we have generated even parity. Now we have to use even parity checker circuit. That is, it will count number of ones present in this received bits. So how many number of ones are there? So there is no 1 here. So like a even. Now if this is even, means it is a right. So right means it will give as a 0. The output will be 0. That means the received word or the received bits is correct. Now the second one, if it is counting the number of ones as odd, so that means there is an error. So it will produce output as 1. So that means it is indicating that there is an error. Similarly, if you go this one, it is counting number of ones as odd. So error. Even number of ones, no error. Odd number of ones, error. Even number of ones, no error. Even number of ones, no error. Odd number of ones, error. Then 1. So that is odd number of ones, 1. Even number of ones, no error. No error. Error. No error. 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 No error. Yes or no? So this is the even parity checker, the output function. Now how to design a circuit from the truth table. Again, if you see, what is this function is nothing but, see, odd number of ones are there. The output function is 1. So it's nothing but 4 variable exclusive OR function. You can verify the all truth table. So if I say 4 number of ones, even or odd, even, so output is 0. Odd number of ones, output is 1. So it is nothing but exclusive OR function. So what is the circuit for the checker is? So this is X, Y, 1 exclusive OR gate, then Z comma P, which is parity bit and one more input, and this is going like this, and both goes to one more exclusive OR gate. That is 4 input exclusive OR function. It is nothing but, so this is the checker output, right? So here you have to remember is, when C is equal to 0, no error, right? When C is equal to 1, error is there. So there is an error. So there is no error when C is equal to 0. When C is equal to 1, there is an error. So it will acknowledge to the transmitter that there is an error. So it will resend. So that is about this even parity generator and even parity checker. Now we'll see odd parity generator and odd parity checker. Now we will see odd parity generator. So what is this meaning is, see, it will count, this is message bits. Now it will count number of ones, that is, there is no 1 at all. Now to make odd, what we need to do, we need to add 1 as a parity. Here already 1 is there, that is odd is there, so no need to add any 1. Similarly, already odd is there, so add 0. Here there is a even number of ones, we need to add 1 to make odd. Here already odd is there, so no need to add. Here even is there, so add 1. Here even, so add 1. Here already odd is there, so no need to add 0. Now what is this function? Is nothing but exclusive NOR function, or we can say it is an even function. Why it is an even function? If you see the function, if I assume this is a function, whenever there is even number of ones, we are getting function values high. So that is why it is called even function or simply exclusive NOR function. So what is the circuit diagram of this one? It is nothing but first we will use the exclusive OR gate, that is A, B, and one more exclusive OR gate, and we have to use one NOT gate to make complement. That is, we know, say if I take this odd function or even parity generator, so whenever 000 is there, so we got 0, yes or no? But whereas in odd parity generator, so we got 1 here. So this is just opposite of the even parity generator, or we can say opposite of the odd function, or we can say complement of the exclusive OR function. So that is the reason why I am making a one NOT gate at the output of this one. This is C. If you see this one, here we will get A exclusive OR B exclusive OR, sorry, here I will get A exclusive OR B exclusive OR C. Here what I will get? Complement of this one. So A exclusive OR B exclusive OR C complement. So what is this function? So this is, I can say simply either even function. In this scenario, it is odd parity generator. Odd parity generator. So don't confuse with even function and odd parity generator. So just opposite. If it is an even function, it will generate odd parity. So that is about the circuit diagram for odd parity generator, right? So what is this? One, or we can say one exclusive OR gate and one exclusive NOR gate. Exclusive OR with NOT gate will become exclusive NOR gate. So this is X, Y, this is Z, and this is the parity bit P. Right? Now we are generated a parity bit P, or we can say parity bit odd parity generator, this one. So this is the circuit diagram for odd parity generator. If there is even parity, simply two exclusive OR gates. See odd parity checker. So what is this meaning? So it will count the number of ones. If there is an odd, it will produce no error. Now we will see odd parity checker. So what is this? How it will check is, it will count number of one. If there is odd parity, there is no error. If there is even parity, we will get an error. If you see, this is there is no, there is no one at all. So it is an even parity. That means there is an error. So it will produce output as 1. So error means 1. So this is odd number of ones, so no error. Odd number of ones, no error. Even number of ones, error is there. Odd number of ones, no error. Even number of ones, error is there. Even number of ones, error is there. Odd number of ones, no error, and so on. So this is odd number of ones, no error, 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 no error, error. Odd number of ones, no error. Odd number of ones, no error. Even number of ones, error is there. Right? Right. Now what is this function? It is nothing but 4 input exclusive NOR function, or we can say even function. Again, it is like an even function. See, 4 zeros, output is number of ones here, so there is no 1 at all, so like a even, so it is output is high. Now if you see, there is a odd one, so output is 0. Here even number of ones, output is 1, so it is like a even function. So even function, or we can say odd parity checker. So what is the circuit diagram for this one? So again same, exclusive OR gate, that is X, Y and Z, P, and we'll get exclusive OR gate only. Up to here it is same, but after that we should get complement. So I will add one NOT gate to get the parity checker. So as we have seen in this example, that is even parity checker. So we have got the, what is this, odd parity checker, or we can say odd function. Why it is called odd function? Whenever there is a number of ones are odd, we'll get the function value is 1, so which is nothing but exclusive OR function. So this is just the opposite of this one. That means we'll get exclusive OR get complement. So how to get the complement? Like this, or this total circuit will become 2 exclusive OR gates like this, and more 1 exclusive NOR gate, which will become C. This is X, Y, Z, P, right? So this is about the even parity generator and checker. Similarly, odd parity generator and checker, right? So this is the applications of this exclusive OR gates, right? Like a error detection, and remember, it will not do any correction. It will just send the signal or acknowledgement to the transmitter that there is an error. So transmitter will again, it will resend the data, right? If it is again getting the error, then it will again acknowledge. So it will not correct the data, remember. So just it will intimate that there is an error, right? So corrections, the transmitter should have take care. So that is about this one. Now one more thing, what is the limitations of this one is it will detect only one error bit, right? So what is that meaning? Suppose I have generated odd parity or even parity, right? Suppose I have generated this one as even parity. Suppose 1 bit is changed, so it will detect. Suppose 2 bits simultaneously change, so it will not detect. That is the drawback of this even parity generator or odd parity generator. So it will detect. It can detect only 1 bit of error. Whenever there is a 1 bit of error, then only it can detect. So that is either even parity or odd parity. So that is the drawback of this one. So just remember that one. So this is about the even parity and odd parity generator, as well as the exclusive OR functions or exclusion OR functions applications, right?